We all know that nature is not always beautiful and peaceful. It has its dark moments and unexpected events that can cause massive catastrophes in a matter of seconds. Often, due to their sudden and rapid nature, it's nearly impossible to witness them at the exact moment. Therefore, all stories usually revolve around the consequences they leave behind after their surprising attacks. However, thanks to chance, these unprecedented moments have been captured on video, demonstrating how terrifying and awe-inspiring they can be. So today, sit back and enjoy these relentless acts of nature caught on video. Finally, we have one of the most stunning events ever captured on video. The intense storms in the Southern Ocean, known to be one of the windiest places on Earth, estimated to be related to the friction of these storms with the ocean surface. Although humanity was not indifferent to their existence, the true power these storms could have on the world was definitely unknown. A recent study showed that they produce an absurd amount of carbon dioxide, estimated to be about half of the world's production, releasing massive amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. This is closely linked to the distressing loss of sea ice in Antarctica. In summary, as carbon dioxide increases, these majestic storms, which have shown the necessary potential to affect the planet's climate, will become more intense and torrential. However, against all odds and the inaccessibility of the Southern Ocean, scientists have devised a strategy to introduce robots into it, collecting data and capturing sensational images and videos of how these striking storms look. Possibly, this is one of the events with the most significant future consequences. Even though certain collapses are believed to be natural processes in the glacial formation cycle, then there are others that have been labeled by the media as doomsday scenarios, as certain potential collapses, like the case of the enormous frozen block in Antarctica, could be responsible for raising the global sea level by about 65 centimeters. One of these impressive and unexpected events occurred in the region of Argentine Patagonia when several tourists were visiting the area, and small pieces of ice began to break off. The sea level rose about 20 centimeters in total, and due to significant changes in ocean currents, several coastal areas had to be abandoned by their residents to avoid flooding, water pollution, and more. However, experts assure that it was the final stage of this glacier's cycle, and over nearly 2 days in completing its process. It was captured in an impressive video broadcast on various television channels. Landslides involve the fall of layers of mud or earth, ironically called a landslide, disrupting the natural balance of a slope. The most typical ones are caused by heavy rains, as in the case that occurred in Italy in 2010. Intense rains and humid climates triggered the landslide in the Alps region, leading to the evacuation of 200 residents, as seen in videos and images captured at the precise moment. Essentially, it looks as if this landslide is about to carry the city away at any moment. Fortunately, after the avalanche subsided and authorities conducted a thorough inspection of the area, they determined that no one had been injured, as the debris consisted only of objects and plant material, with no human bodies beneath it, except for the cars buried by the earth. Tornado destroys houses. This phenomenon originates from a thunderstorm, emerging as a massive column of air violently rotating due to winds colliding in different directions until it reaches the ground with enough force to destroy buildings in its path. If you're one to underestimate the strength and speed with which these tornadoes can appear and prevent people from fleeing to safe places, you can watch several videos where entire houses disappear after being hit by a tornado. For this reason, residents of certain tornado-prone areas in the United States live in fear of being caught off guard. Nowadays, national authorities have advised immediately taking shelter in a windowless basement for a chance to survive, although no one can be completely sure they will emerge unharmed. Passenger ferry in rough seas. What happens when we encounter these strange weather events that turn the sea, typically a safe haven, into one of the most dangerous places in the world? Restless and untamed monsters known as rough seas. We are aware that captains are perfectly trained to make decisions to protect passengers and their ship, equipped with access to weather information and more. However, accidents happen, and it is not always possible to prevent them. So, in these rare cases where ships find themselves in rough seas, there have been recorded drownings during attempts to stabilize, evacuate, or try to change the route and move away from the problematic area as much as possible. Often, we come across heartbreaking videos showing these desperate moments where fear is clearly visible on people's faces. Snow avalanches. Snow avalanches are not a new story among natural events. Indeed, due to various environmental situations, it is easy to trigger the downward movement of a layer of snow at a speed that can vary, seemingly unstoppable at first glance. However, being one of the most common events in snowy areas doesn't always mean skiers will be constantly alert or able to prevent accidents. In this case, we observe how a kind of whitish cloud begins to form, obscuring objects in its path until blocking the view of the surroundings within seconds and inevitably sweeping them away, leaving them buried under layers of snow that can be over 2 meters deep. Lava rivers in Hawaii. This phenomenon occurs on the exotic island of Hawaii, home to 5 enormous and striking volcanoes, 3 of which are currently active. During a season, these volcanoes emitted uncontrollable amounts of lava continuously, with 1 to 3 days of rest. Specifically, the feared Kilauea volcano created stunning lava flows. There are different lava rivers covering long distances, visible entirely from an aerial view. Additionally, 24 destroyed and open roads have been recorded, creating massive clouds of black smoke extending roughly 24 kilometers, while human casualties have been avoided during the lava river's descent. The images are so striking that they have managed to frighten people from around the world, resembling scenes from a horror or apocalypse-based movie. Swamp swallows trees. This is a sinkhole that gradually swallows entire trees, disappearing into its depths like a bottomless pit. Dubbed the burp phenomenon, it is believed to be a result of local gas and oil companies whose excavation activities have weakened the underground soil in their attempt to reach the salt mine at the bottom. This makes it so unstable that it seems to swallow everything in its path. Currently, the slide has reached about 240,000 kilometers around the swamp, causing certain communities to be evacuated as it devours everything in its path in a matter of seconds. So far, the swamp has not been brought under control, and it is unknown if the U.S. government has any contingency plans for this disaster. Fire tornado. This is a rare meteorological event that requires special conditions to occur. Instances of it being captured on video are discussed as isolated situations. Its origin lies in the fire acquiring vertical vorticity and forming a massive column of air from wildfires, much like a tornado but with more destructive capabilities, despite its existence being known and not being an omen as it was once believed. We also know that it cannot be avoided and can reach temperatures of up to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Hail on the beach. This was a completely real event that surprised beachgoers in Russia who were enjoying a warm summer day in a country known for its low temperatures. Suddenly, dark clouds covered the sky, strong winds attacked the area, blowing away umbrellas, and then frozen rocks began to fall from the sky. Compared to typical hailstorms, the weight and size of these frozen blocks had the potential to seriously injure anyone present. Understandably, there was panic and fear among the unfortunate individuals whose vacation day was unexpectedly interrupted. Although the likelihood of an event like this happening again is relatively low, it's understandable that many people may hesitate to trust the unpredictable weather of Russia for some time. Well, that's all for today. If you loved this video, don't forget to share it with friends and follow us to learn new curiosities every week. See you in the next one. Subscribe to the channel.